IP. Hit, play it. I'm playing new one for you.
In your mind. But nigga, it's me. I'm him. I'm not them. I'm him Jones. I'm him Duncan. I will beat a nigga ass and stomp him in my Timberlands.
Roman Reigns is him, Tori, and he came back with the interesting story. Because I'm not gonna lie, for a few weeks now, Roman wasn't here for a month, Tori. And
true.
And I got kind of tired of the Usos and Sami Zayn and Kevin. I like Tori. This is kind of getting stale. And one promo last week and a promo this week, and I'm like, okay, it's a hit back up.
I was about to say, niggas ready for Clash of Champions.
All they do is take them showing up, Tori.
They gotta listen. People can say what they want, but they gotta remember this feud was hot enough to where Saudi Arabia unbanned Sammy. They were like, "Yo, we want the nigga here. We taking off the ban. Bring him in. We need it."
For y'all that don't know, Sammy don't go to Saudi Arabia because they had a conflict with Syria. Now they have diplomatic relations with Syria, so Sammy more willing to go. So that's
but listen, kayfabe reason, folks. This feud was so good. The Prince of Saudi Arabia was like, "Nah, get him in here. We need to see this."
But my God, he came back, and I'm like, okay, it heats up. Every little detail from him being in the ring, from him being mad, like, I gave my life to you. I'm like, oh, he's scorned.
And think he went back when he was talking to KO. You got to think when he was talking to KO too. Think about the class that they've had just all through both of their careers since they both hit at roughly the same time, I feel like.
Yeah, and then he came back, and then he had to. They came out. He was him and Sammy going back. Sammy, I wish I would have hit you with the chair sooner.
Yep.
Roman said, I have only one regret: wasting my life with you. They were going back and forth. Then Usos attacked him. Roman gets mad at Usos. He bumps into Solo and looked terrified, and I'm like,
yeah, sold that shit like a shotgun, bro.
You're like, my bad.
It was amazing. He was like, my fault. Well, you gotta think. It all goes into Roman Reigns. We're starting to see the cracks actually show up. Think he was gone for all that time, and we hadn't really got to see if the Usos losing had affected him. He came back to say he was challenging for the title. Freaking I mean, it's a very nuanced thing, but it's done so well that it comes off perfect.
And then he had that amazing promo on the Usos in the backstage seat.
Bruh,
I had so much I wanted to tell him. I wasted my life on him. And what did you do? You did your own thing. It's not we, it's us. It's made by me. I'm the quarterback. I'm like, oh, he popping off.
He said, I carried you niggas to the mountain. Now quit fucking around before we all fall.
Yeah, and I'm like, he's spitting. Speaking of, that is my one and only co-host of Just a Fan Wrestling. It's Afro-Coming765. You doing, Daytona?
You already know, your local neighborhood scumbag here to give the folks their daily dose of dirtbag. Same gimmick, different day. Here to talk to you about the wonderful world of wrestling. Y'all know what it is.
And y'all saw the Andrew Tate intro, but let's get to the real. It is your boy Alpha May, of course. I don't know if overall 99 media. You see the logo? I had to put it in there. You also see what they say. Tell me what they say. It's pretty big screen so they can see it. Look at it. What they say right now. What they say.
Well, Alpha? Hell no.
We got words everywhere. But yeah, it was. We opened the segment of SmackDown. How you doing today, Couture?
Beautiful day. I can't complain. Freaking the wrestling wasn't half bad. The weather was great. Weed was good. Wonderful all around. Ready to talk about the wonderful world of wrestling.
Yeah, we had the next match. I enjoyed quite a bit. The Brawling Brutes versus Pretty Deadly. I saw something original. Boy. I saw something that I don't see. And that's always loves me in wrestling. I have watched wrestling since I was little and seeing things I don't usually see. The Pretty Deadly, I'm stuck on the rope. Then he's like, get out the ring. And then
Hit him with the double team.
And then get back like I'm back stuck on the rope. I'm like, okay.
There we go.
Y'all
some nuance. Some nuance. Let's go.
And then he pretended like Pete Dunne did it. He like he tried me on the rope, like, don't you do it, get out the ring. I'm like, oh, that's smart. I like that. I like clever work. I like clever stuff. Also leads me to believe that it's not just a roll up, and I don't even think we saw a roll up today, did we?
Nope. It was that was a clean pin, yo. I mean, clean pin, not cleanly gained. Obviously, there was foul play. There are heels,
which again leads me to believe Vince ain't around lately.
Yeah,
I
because people, you got to ask yourself: do you believe? And before anyone says he pushed Goldust, shut the fuck up. Are we gonna sit and say that Vince McMahon would push a team like Pretty Deadly? Honestly, they would be doing weird washing each other in the shower, homophobic, crazy freaking storylines if Vince was there and he was gonna use them. And that's just being honest.
These shows ain't felt like Vince shows. It's a lot of different things I've seen. So maybe they were right, Tor. Maybe they were right. Raw's still tough to get through because it's 3 hours.
3 hours is just such a slog.
And you can start feeling it with the crowd in that third hour. You're like, I did, but it was like, for instance, we can talk about a little bit of that. The JD McDonough. You think Vince gonna let JD look like that against Dolph, and then
did you like the when he was leaving? You see Finn come up there in the background.
That was amazing. It's like an ambiance, and then like you saw Becky Lynch, and then you saw people talking in the back with between Heyman and all the groups that end up being forming together. The heels.
Speaking of Becky Lynch, this is mildly off topic, but you're the person to ask if I'm going to ask anyone. Do we know what role Seth Rollins is playing in this new Captain America film?
He's gonna be part of the Sinister Serpent.
Okay.
I don't know if he's gonna be the main dude with the little serpent head or who he's gonna be. It looked like he had his own little gimmick thing, so I'm assuming.
I literally didn't know he'd been filming it. I just saw an article the other day and I bookmarked it, but I ain't read it yet. So, but yeah, okay. As you were saying, Becky Lynch, just the subtle nuances. That's the word of the day, folks.
Yeah, it's like little things in the background because you all of a sudden you saw all the heel factions making deals and doing things together. From Gunther to Judgment Day to the Usos and Roman Reigns. Even though Roman Reigns not there,
all the bad guys.
But Roman Reigns is orchestrating it with the other heels on the other show to deal with problems because he's had Paul Heyman to do it, which makes sense. As long as they're not arrested. People I like Paul Heyman to SmackDown. So I don't even know why they put Paul Heyman in this part. It should have been just Solo and Roman.
Yeah,
it's like he don't.
Well, I mean, because he's the wise man though.
So it kind of makes it so you have to make excuses for him to beat. I'm like, he shouldn't have never been there. He should just be around Roman Reigns as his manager. You should never put managers on drafts because like, why did you pick him?
It was weird that he was part of the draft. The manager should just sort of be implied to go with the talent that they're paired with.
Yeah, and then you won't have this problem of making the excuse that he had a what? What was the excuse?
Well, you gotta think.
He had a pass or something?
Yeah, you gotta think they made a whole freaking deal about how tag teams could be broke up, and not a single tag team got broke up, did they?
Yeah, but I'm like, why do you put the manager? Then if you didn't put him with them, you wouldn't have to have the pass, and then he could just do this, and it makes sense. Roman Reigns is trying to control the whole roster through doing multiple tactics.
But it works because we know that Paul can pull strings backstage. He used to be part of creative. He worked for Vince's dad back in the day. Come on, creator at ECW. We gotta give Paul people. I think
it's easier to digest if you don't draft him. That's all I'm saying. Like you don't have to make the excuse.
He definitely shouldn't, because were any other managers drafted? Like it was pretty much I guess with Karrion Kross and Scarlett, but I guess it was pretty much implied that if Karrion Kross went anywhere, Scarlett was coming with him.
I don't even know if they said Scarlett. I think they just said Karrion Kross and then Scarlett. It was implied,
which is what they should have done. But I feel like the whole reason that freaking Paul Heyman is getting this treatment is because he is like the best mic in the room when it comes to WWE. Like, I don't think and people might look at me crazy, but I don't even think Roman Reigns right now. I don't know if there's anyone in the WWE that can cut a better promo than Paul Heyman. So maybe that makes him a competitor in his own regard, and that's why they drafted him. I don't fucking know.
But you wouldn't, didn't you? But now you need an excuse for him to be on Raw, and I'm like, no, he could just play games to mess with Kevin Owens and Sami by just not being drafted and being like, I'm allowed to be wherever I want.
I was gonna say he's like, I'm a manager, not a competitor.
Yes.
Bada boom.
But I think that was a mistake on it. I think they just want to emphasize
it's only a mistake for the overthinking smart fans like us. People that are just watching this at face value, that they're not thinking about.
But they explained it. That what makes it. If you don't explain it, I'll be like, okay. But you explained it, which makes it stupid to me. That's even more stupid.
Yeah, but
because even the casual will look at it like, why does he have a pass?
Well, and then they go and do some research and find out who Paul Heyman is, and they're like, that makes sense.
No, like,
I don't know, dude. I already agreed and said they shouldn't have done it, but I don't think it's as big as. I think that's more of a pet peeve for you. I don't think that's something that most people are like, oh my goodness.
Just let it slide.
But I'm saying I don't think it's that big of an immersion break for everyone else. I see why it is for you. I understand, and I'm still mad
fan ain't attacked the cameraman yet.
I know, but I'm saying I don't think that's and you are probably the only person that remembers that, unless you're a faithful viewer of this show, and then you'll never forget it either. But
two things you're gonna know is you're gonna notice that AEW needs to lose that women division tour, and you know that Finn Balor still needs to attack the cameraman.
Damn, what if the show could be over if that cameraman never gets attacked? You just feel like everything's right in the world, wrestling's perfect. He's like, I don't need to criticize this anymore, man. Finn finally got back at the camera guy.
He's a baby face now.
I just sort of hate. Okay, another random tangent. Bringing up Finn Balor. Since when did the Demon become his jobber face? The past 3 times he's came out as the Demon, he's gotten his ass whooped. Although one of those times was because the said cameraman cut the rope on him when he went for the coup de grace.
Roman took his powers with his.
I guess so, or no. When the cameraman cut the rope, it cut his powers too.
It cut this mystique away.
I was gonna say it cut it
off. It's like the Undertaker lost his coffin.
They took away his hat. They took away the hat for good.
The Undertaker lost his coffin and he can't wrestle.
No, it was the urn. It was the urn. Remember they actually did that. Paul Bearer bounced out with the urn, and Undertaker was taking L's there for a second because his ashes were in the urn. I don't fucking remember. I was like 6, if that. But still, bro.
Let's see. Shout out to Chaos Theory. Let them turn on. Paul goes with the Usos, and Solo Roman comes back with Tama Tonga.
Listen, okay, we cannot just throw all Samoan people together. Tama Tonga is not related to them. Haku, well, damn, is Haku actually related, or was he just a tag team member? God damn, they've confused me so much.
Well, listen, Roman can make whatever rules he wants.
That's a fact. He's the final boss, yo.
He's like, listen, I want.
But I am liking the slow descent into madness that we're getting. Like, the cracks are going to be there. They're not going to win these titles. Roman's not going to lose any of his belts, but it's going to be a blow. He's going to take an L on his 1000th day of champion.
That's crazy. He's
so
be pissed.
Think it's going to be. He's going to be like, oh, it's amazing. It's my 1000th day as champion, and then, damn, you didn't win the tag titles though. You took an L on your 1000th. Of course, Solo will probably eat the pin unless we're cranking this up and we're going to get to Roman, because I don't feel like Roman can't take a pin until he loses the belts. I feel like, or
that'd
maybe
be crazy. It'd be a waste of time. You would have me on that Cody train wagon insanely. Then you might have me with Monte. I'm like, this stupid.
Yeah, I mean,
your first pin is a tag match.
You can't. I was gonna say, he didn't take not a pin. The only L he took was a disqualification L to Seth Rollins, and we know belts don't. That Cody wouldn't have a story if you could win a belt off a disqualification, because Dusty would have got that belt back in the Garden back then.
But yeah, that's crazy. Next up we had Zelina Vega versus Asuka, and it was a decent match. Zelina showed.
I mean, it was a squash match though. We're trying to build Asuka back up because we didn't take the title off of Bianca when we should have at WrestleMania.
Now they saying Bianca might be go heel, which I'm like, Asuka just went heel. So that means Bianca has to lose, and then she has just
the loss could turn her heel.
Did she just beat the?
But I love Asuka. I mean, she's amazing in the ring.
I think Roman. I would go with it if I thought the Bloodline story was going for like another 2 years, but I think it's about to. I think Roman's about to go into acting a little more and take some more time out. So.
Yeah, as I say, I think Roman's gonna take a break and.
But I would like to. I would like his theory because I get what Tori said. They're not real family, but the whole "my family disappointed me" story with Roman Reigns, he going to descent, and then I'm
listen. If they want to do it right, he's been disappointed. The only person you can bring in is Jacob Fatu. That's it. I won't say a word. You bring in Jacob Fatu, we're locked in. I'm cool. I ain't asking no questions. You give me the Samoan Werewolf in WWE, I'm rocking with it. You can yes, with The Rock as a guest ref. You give me
The Rock. He came back to Fast and the Furious. He said he'll never come back. So
hey, Vin cut him that check though. Let's not cap.
Review coming out in like 30 minutes. So on this
Diesel.
channel. So if y'all want to see a review of Fast 10, we will be here later on in about 45 minutes. So be here for that Fast 10 review coming out shortly.
But
it won't be live. It'll just be on the channel because me and Joe did it earlier.
Yeah, if you bring in Jacob Fatu, I'd say let's extend the bloodline. I'm here for it wholeheartedly.
But I would be I could see that storyline actually working. He's like, I hate all y'all, so I'm finna go get a bunch of other Samoans that love me.
Yeah, he just decided to bring in I'm bringing in a whole random.
This is my real family.
I don't know, bro. They gotta figure something out. They should just end it with it's getting harder and harder to where we're gonna get a satisfactory ending from this bloodline storyline. The longer
it's still going good. I think the fact that we see it cracking is like you can see an end now, so that's what I think.
But I don't know, bro. I want it to have a good ending, but at this point, I don't know if there is a good ending that we're all going to be sad. There's never anything that's going to satisfy everyone, but I feel like they had a real chance to like.
I ain't gonna lie. I felt multiple times, and somehow Roman Reigns does pull off.
Yeah, he does. That man is freaking God mode is like almost too light to describe how he's been in these past 2 years.
I don't care what nobody say. When that man is in a main event. That match feels like something.
It feels like a main event. Very much like RIP superstar Billy Graham. But a lot of the matches, like him versus Bruno Sammartino, like that shit's a main event off of the field.
That man faced Jey Uso in the Hell in a Cell.
The only complaint I'm gonna have, and I've had it this whole time, if we could just shorten down, he milks the intro for so long. I don't need Roman Reigns to take a 5 to 7 minute walk.
I think that's why the heel stuff though. It's like
I know, but bruh, it's so because I'd be like, I'm watching live and I'm like, damn, I should just watch the recording so I could have fast forwarded through the little walk point because I mean, all the flash comes when he gets to the ring. You already know, acknowledge me, da da da. But yeah, that's one of my only pet peeves about the bloodline is how long. But to your point, I believe that's part of the psychology of it all. Heels are supposed to piss you off in those little ways. Taking forever to get to the ring is a good way to do it, especially when you're dealing with somebody with ADHD like myself.
But in that match, Asuka's showing a lot of her heel moves, which I thought was dope.
She's got to get better with the mist, bruh. She got to get because like she only got like her chin, like.
But she got. I like to see Asuka's heels move. What up, Brillo? How you doing, my guy?
What's going on?
Next up, we had the Grayson Waller effect with AJ Styles. It was okay. I think Grayson Waller felt like, oh, this is my big chance. He kind of held it back. I'm like, I know you when you in the NXT crowd, you hype it up. This one's kind of shallow. He did pick it up at the end though.
Well, but you've also got to think when you're dealing with when they're dealing with NXT, they've got that fixed studio audience size aside from like pay-per-views. So you got to think freaking when they're actually getting in there on the main roster and they're in these 30,000-40,000 seat venues and
he picked it up at the end though.
Yeah, he picked it up at the end, but it was very slow to start. And I like Grayson Waller in the ring, and the stuff I've seen on the mic from him hasn't been horrible. It's been decent. It's been far above average for what you'd expect from the development.
I like Grayson, but that beginning was he
shook. And you know that I'm not a fan of NXT, so if I'm giving him flowers, I mean it sincerely.
Yeah, the beginning he was shook.
I just love how, but I think it also. They whatted him, and I don't know if he knew. I love how AJ talked right through the whats, like it didn't bother him at all. And there's only two ways you can deal with a what situation. You either freaking crash through it, like AJ did. He didn't stumble or anything though, or you turn it back on him. And it's
Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, I was saying Charlotte did. Stone Cold can, even though the whats are sort of like cheers for him at the end of the day.
You know, Roman stopped that completely. They ain't did a what chance.
I was gonna say he should.
You what me one more time? I'm gonna smash you like I would Steve Austin. He ain't got a what chance.
I was gonna say you bulldoze through it. You set the tone.
I think they cast it. I do got an opinion on that. I do think that they's trying to give him some heel rub before he move on.
I was gonna say I think they're working on some little character developmental tweaks.
Oh my God, he's such a
I'm okay with that. But I had the exact same question. I was like bringing him up. Sort of, I mean, he's been the guy in NXT. There ain't no question.
I think they want to see how he do as a heel. It's time. Yeah. I see that heel,
and that's important while they're in developmental. Because what if he is way better as a heel than he was a babyface, and now you know this? You can plan accordingly when he comes up to.
If he flop as a heel, which he just turned,
don't they have
okay? We keep him as a babyface when he goes up. You know what I'm saying?
There another draft like halfway through the year too at some point?
Rumors is he coming up at SummerSlam after SummerSlam.
Okay, that's the beautiful thing because it feels a little more special when you get brought up without a draft being involved. I feel like
the rumor is, by the way, his heel work is way better. His face work.
I haven't. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't watched it in depth. I've watched the matches though.
Did you watch the barbershop? He was in a barbershop.
No,
you know, Mello and Trick always go to a barbershop. So he sits in the barbershop. He said, "Hey man, I just want to cut. Why everybody quiet?" And he just in his body shop like, decided to stop here before I put your boy Trick in the hospital. And I'm like, this dude is sick. I'm like, okay, he should have been like this.
I didn't see that, but I did like the Trick match. Trick Williams looked a lot better than I've ever seen him. He still got his ass whooped like he should, though. Nothing wrong with that.
And Trick can talk. If you can get that boy to wrestle, you got him.
Yeah, I mean he can talk. We saw that. If he can actually, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but Trick, you could get like Velveteen Dream vibes off of him. Yeah, you know what? In a good way, not in trying to record wrestlers' dongs, shit like that.
The whole thing, Velvet was ahead of him in wrestling, but Trick.
Yeah. Oh, Velveteen Dream was.
Trick.
Listen, if that nigga could wrestle like Dream and talk like he does. Get him up to the main roster and shoot that nigga for a title. USIC somewhere in there. But because he's got the look, bro. He's got the look and he can talk. If he gets the in-ring, that kid's out of here. If he gets good in ring.
Such a disappointment, Chaos.
Hey, come on. Well, listen, we're not gonna act like Velveteen Dream wasn't nasty in the ring.
I think he more
that nigga could wrestle.
No, I think he just hurt that he wasted that talent.
Yeah, he did waste it.
And then when there's rumors that he might come back, he up here attacking people.
Yeah, going to jail.
I'm like, dang.
Got niggas from NXT coming to bail you out and shit.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
yeah, Wesley. I'm pretty sure Wesley went and bonded that nigga out when he went to jail the last time.
Wesley has improved a lot.
This will be controversial, but I don't care. I think you could bring back his fucking partner. They found out old girl that said that shit was saying it spitefully. It wasn't true. I understand the Hitler picture is persona non grata. I get that. But MJF, who is Jewish, even came out and was like, yo, this dude's a good dude. I'm Jewish. I lived with the guy for years. I don't know.
Hey, that's a highlight of his that whole spot.
Hey, that was a highlight spot, but no, bro. Velveteen Dream had some.
I think the Aleister Black
bro, his Aleister Black match was super good.
But I get what he's saying. That moment probably the most
he had a banger with Johnny Gargano too, if I remember correctly.
But I think that moment is probably his most famous moment.
Oh yeah, because that's a highlight moment for him and freaking.
Yeah.
I
could do anything you could do. Nothing you can do in that ring, I can't do. And then he just somersaults in front of him instead of
full vaulting front flip on his feet and cleared the rope
into his face. It just
all Ricochet needs to do is put the mask back on, bro. Put the mask back on. Prince Puma goes way harder than Ricochet.
But they got some. They got some if they can get Trick to.
Yeah, if Trick can get really good in the ring. Outside of just a little, I saw some decent moves he did. I saw the little snap over, like fucking
rock bottom type move.
Yeah, like it was. I don't even know what you can call it, but it was some kind of transition into a Uranagi. It was beautiful. But if he could wrestle like that thoroughly, shoot that kid to the moon, Cameron Grimes style. I mean, bruh,
he can talk his ass off.
He can.
Like the crowd loves him. Whoop that Trick.
Yeah, but Trick can't whoop shit though. He ain't good enough in the ring.
That's what I'm saying.
So it kind of sucks.
Oh, I don't know if you've seen, but look up what Dijak and Ilya are doing right now.
I mean, I'm always a fan of Ilya. Any Ilya dragon.
They said Ilya might come up with what's his name soon too.
Yeah, but if they have him join Imperium, that could be. I mean, don't get me wrong. Imperium
it could be a setup to turn on him, and then it could be another. Give me any way you can give me Gunther and Ilya.
I will take Ilya Gunther 3 any day of the week.
And you said I don't care how you set it up. Put him on the team. Like, who was Idman every friend, and then he do the Daniel Bryan turn on him very well, and then the crowd go crazy.
It would not matter to me.
And I think it happened with the main roster crowd too.
I feel like Ilya is another one. He just got to get a little bit more English under his belt.
But that's why I said I think it happened with the crowd.
Most definitely, because Ilya's top tier in the ring, bro.
You know what I'm saying? I think if you give him some wins, he with Gunther, and the crowd knows Gunther. I think it's easier for him to. Just like I think JD made a statement this week. If Triple H
JD McDonough did, bro, he did some work. I enjoyed it.
And then what they did, pretty damn it. Listen, if y'all introduce them, give them vignettes, which Vince refused to do for NXT
I gotta go
people.
Grab something to drink.
Yeah, if you give them vignettes the way they were doing and all that, listen. That's what they've been need to do. JD got an amazing vignette, amazing interview, and made a statement. His first week. Pretty Deadly just beat 2 over superstar and Pete Dunne and what's his name in an amazing fashion. Looked like they were geniuses. You do stuff like that, man, you can get the NXT kids over. And that's what I keep saying. That's why this don't seem like a Vince thing. JD don't get that whole vignette, beat up Dolph Ziggler, promo looking like Finn Balor looking at him. You don't get that on the Vince. Pretty Deadly don't get that little smart. They probably get a roll up because how many new people get a roll up when they first win when Vince comes?
Well, no, you got to remember, Vince would so roll up finishes. We literally, I don't remember if it was 2021 or 2022 across in just WWE, they had over 200 surprise roll up finishes.
You know what I'm saying? And
bruh,
like, give me what y'all did with Pretty Deadly tonight.
Hey, I will take Prince Puma. Prince Puma was a fucking treasure.
Listen, hey, did you see what WWE is considering? Nick Khan and Triple H wanted to maybe do a Lucha show.
They've got the talent for it.
Put them on.
I don't know.
Finally, you can push Santos because I need Santos pushed.
Yeah, but you should be pushing fucking Santos Escobar anyways, which that's I do. They got this win tonight.
They did.
But Santos Escobar is one of the best new gen wrestlers around right now. And like he's the opposite of Ricochet though. That nigga looks so amazing. You gotta just take his mask off. I'd have demasked too if I looked like fucking Santos Escobar. Fuck no, I'm not keeping my mask on, bro. Are you crazy?
We got the Street Profits and LA Knight and Rick Boogs.
Which is such a I mean, I guess we're gonna get LA Knight versus Rick Boogs out of this. Which, I mean, LA Knight's a veteran. He can make Rick Boog look amazing, but god damn it, he better win.
Of course, Street Profits get to win. They needed to win, and also it's against a team that's not really a team. People are worried about them being a long-term tag team. LA Knight run ended it quickly.
I was gonna say BFT. He hit him with the BFT as soon as it was over. There wasn't no
Aladun and Alba Fire dominated this match against Julissa and Valentine. Valentine is back from injury. I'm happy.
I ain't never seen them bitches. I thought they were just jobbers.
No, Valentine Farrell's been she been injured a lot. She just came back from injury.
I was just saying, I ain't never seen them, and they didn't get entrances, so I figured they were the very rare local girls.
You have every right to do that because Michael Cole didn't even mention their name.
Okay, I just they didn't look familiar,
which is a problem for me because they are actual NXT talent.
Okay, see that's fucked up. Then they should have got an entrance.
Just mention their name at least.
I think they gave them the little graphic, but I mean that don't tell me shit. I didn't read that.
The fact that Michael Cole don't even refer to them. He talked about them and he never referred to them at all. Like they were literal enhancement talent that he never
that's why I thought they were. I figured they were going back old school a little bit and others to show Vince isn't there. They got some nice local girls from a school and wherever they were at, but no,
they're assigned to them,
that's crazy.
And they got jobbed out. And I don't mind them getting jobbed, but at least mention their name. Like
coming talent. I don't have a problem with them losing, but them not getting an entrance or being mentioned at all.
He just talked like they wasn't there.
But Alba Fire and Isla Dawn are an amazing tag team aesthetically and ring work wise. Like they look amazing and they work
gorgeous.
Oh shoot. The things I would do to Isla Dawn consensually are out of this world. I would put her evil to the test. I promise.
Austin Theory cut a promo and it was
decent.
Austin Theory promo.
It was decent though. Austin Theory's amazing. That kid's the future, bro. Like I said, they just gotta keep pushing more that he beat John Cena. Like how are we not hyping that to the fucking moon, bro? He beat John Cena, big match John.
I can see where Chaos Theory got this idea from. It makes
sense. What are we talking about here?
At WrestleMania.
Bruh, and he's phenomenal in the ring. Why they made it? I still want to know why they made him change his freaking finisher. Ataxia was one of the best finishers ever. It also, I'm pretty sure no one ever kicked out of it while he was doing it. I mean, and then they just had it changed it to that A-Town down, the little swing, little like half. What is it? It's like half GTS, half freaking knee. I don't know what you'd call it, but it's not as cool as Ataxia was.
And then we got an amazing main event. Wrestling, baby.
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio and Santos versus the Uso.
They put on a fucking show.
You know what I'm saying? We got some wrestling in the show. And I'm like, this felt like a Triple H show.
It did. But
Raw felt partially like a Triple H show, and then he I don't know what to do with the other hour. So
it's so hard, bro. 3 hours is just so wild. Raw would be if you cut out an hour of Raw.
If you just did JD, you do the JD stuff, you do the Gunther stuff, you do what they did with the Bloodline and stuff like that.
Of course, get your Cody and Brock talk in there too. Freaking.
I don't even know what Cody was talking about, but it was dope. He was just randomly talking about fairy tale characters or something. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? But it sounded cool.
I mean,
it sounded cool, but I'm like, I don't know what he's talking. Like, if you read it on the transcript, you're like, what the hell is he talking about?
But
Tori, am I wrong? If you read what he was saying,
no, because I got where he was going with it. I don't think I got what he was saying.
I do too, but he made it work. And I'm like, you can't give many people this promo.
And you gotta think, it's still better than what Vince was having niggas say for 20 years.
And I can tell there's a lot more freedom the rest of the scene.
But we know Cody's promos were written over workshops when he was in AEW, so.
Yeah. But Santos and them looked amazing, of course. Reyes are still amazing at his age. And the Usos, I'm still sad about being never get the Uso versus Briscoe still.
Yeah, that would have been the fucking Ultimate Brothers match. Fuck the Young Bucks versus the Briscoes.
I always say that
wrong. They've had amazing matches, but
I even said about the FTR thing. I'm like, they matches are top quality matches, but the promos and build up, FTR can't hang with the Briscoe Usos good.
Yeah. Well, no, yeah, you're right. The FTR
I ain't
are
talking
not
about
promo
win.
guys.
I'm just saying,
But they're not promo guys
yeah.
at all. But
like, when Jimmy and Jay start cooking, they can cook. And then
Jimmy and Jay versus Mark and Jay would have been crazy. The battle of the Jays that could have been the lead up. You could have had Jay Briscoe versus Jay Uso. They would have had amazing, because I feel like Jay is the better one at the promos out of the Usos, and Jay's also the better one out of the promos in the Briscoes.
Yeah.
So I feel like you would have got some amazing shit. The matches that we could have got out of that would have been, oh my lord.
You ready for that Young Bucks versus Usos super kick match?
Oh, that would be crazy. That would be a for real super kick party.
It'll be 400 super kicks in one match.
It would be the whole match, nothing but super kicks. Have Shawn Michaels be the referee.
Hey, super kicks and frog splashes
for everyone. Although I think the Usos beat the Young Bucks in the frog splash game, just pizzazz wise.
Oh,
but yeah, Santos Escobar and Rey Mysterio pick up the win via the distraction from Sammy and Kevin. But it was an amazing match.
Let's go over some AEW content. By the way, they announced AEW Collision. It looked like, as y'all see in the title, it looked like Nitro, and I'm like,
bruh, it is an exact. Nitro? They copied the font to a T. The colors, the setup, everything.
They gotta have the Nitro Arena tour.
Bruh, they got to.
Just do the Nitro.
It's just. What are we gonna do?
Nitro,
what are we gonna do when Goldberg comes in at the Second Coming show and takes out CM Punk?
Jackhammer CM Punk.
Jackhammer CM Punk end up injuring him.
Chris Jericho versus
We're really about to do Chris Jericho versus Adam Cole. Like this is some kind of they're acting like this is a fucking gift to us. Oh, and then you got Hangman Page and it's Hangman Patch. His name's not Hangman Page anymore. It's Hangman Patch.
I get what Tori told me why he had it, and I know, but why does it match? Why is it brown?
Why does it match his boots? I wondered the same thing.
I'm like, it doesn't seem intimidating when you have a patch that's like Gucci.
It's crazy, bro.
Like a black eye patch is like that. But didn't John Mox have like an eye patch a year ago?
He had an eye patch in the Chris Jericho feud.
So I'm like, oh, we doing eye patches.
Yeah,
he had at least have Seth Rollins take your eyes out. At least give us.
Yeah, shout out Buddy Matthews.
You remember that era was that COVID era was.
Hey, have you seen how Buddy Murphy is slowly, or Buddy Matthews is slowly breaking down on Twitter as the Dom and Rhea hype gets more and more? This nigga makes sure he is under every one of her and Dominic's posts, reminding everyone that he's actually the one knocking down Rhea Ripley, and it is hilarious to me. Do your thing, King.
Yeah, bruh.
Hey, he was an amazing wrestler through and through. Jay Briscoe was one of the best. His work was impeccable. The punches looked real. The freaking Jay Driller is still one of my favorite finishers. I mean, anyone who still uses a pile driver effectively is a hero to me.
They say
the Undertaker retired.
They say he did a lot of work.
Like I said, one of the biggest mistakes Tony Khan ever made and Warner Brothers ever made was not getting them on TV together sooner. Jay made his apologies for the homophobic remarks, and there ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. That's what they were. But we know how holy rollers get. We know how religion affects people at certain points in time. And I mean, he came out, he apologized. I mean, it is what it is. You saw all the gay wrestlers that came out and said that Jay Briscoe was amazing to them, never said a bad word, was always kind, all that jazz. It's just a shame that we never got them on the platform in which they deserve to be.
Yeah. Let's talk about this AEW Dynamite. I loved last week. This one was.
It still didn't. Did you really like last week's all that much? I mean,
I did
a lot of people turned out for that cage match. Or was this week? Was this week the cage match or last week was the cage match, wasn't it?
Yeah,
when Don Callis turned on Kenny. But yeah, it did. That was the highest part, but it still only got up to 900K. This week they stayed. I think 870 was the average. So
I thought it was 814. I thought last week was 870 average.
I don't know.
I thought this week was 814.
But either way, there was a point in time where TK was fucking.
Yeah, key demo total viewership holds steady. It ratings down, ranked 7th on cable, so it went down. It was 8. Last week was 8.
But I think a little portion of that, I'm gonna shoot TK some bail. Very weird thing. NBA finals are going on right now, correct?
Yes.
So that could definitely be a reason why your viewership could be down in the key demo. But it don't make no sense.
I mean, WWE does. I understand more
what the thing is, though, what is Tony?
But they don't really have a black audience.
Because listen, I know we did when we first talked about this. I know we didn't think too much of it, but as it's getting closer, what if Collision does consistently do better numbers than Dynamite? Does TK still justifiably split his roster when he doesn't honestly need to? You could ixnay your women's division and you would have an amazing promotion and your women would get jobs in the WWE. Well, at least the ones that were good. Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker, freaking Tony Storm could come back, maybe. Freaking Ruby Riott, Ruby Soho. I think she could get another shot too. All the really good women in the women's division. Paige would kill regardless of what she says, but I don't know if they'd let her wrestle. I think there's something to that. She ain't wrestled too much since she's been back. But there's a lot of things TK can do. But it's looking like it's possible now. What if Collision does consistently do better?
Dan Bryan they said Dan Bryan gonna be doing creative according to reports.
And that would be, and we saw when he did creative in WWE, he did some good stuff.
True, and that was wild. But he needs to stop shooting 3. He shoot way too many 3. But if Tony Khan let somebody else handle creative on Saturday, then he just it. Yeah. And he learned from he did learn from some good people, despite Vince cutting off ripping up the paper and making people do random stuff at the last minute, which is a horrible way to run the show because no one knows they do. But imagine cutting up a promo and they'd be like, you ain't got a promo tonight. They're like 5 minutes before the show, like you got to cut a 10-minute promo here. What you got to say?
Bruh. There's certain wrestlers, if wrestling was still the way it used to be, that wouldn't be a problem for anybody. Because that used to be one of the most common things that you saw in wrestling. Niggas can talk.
But now you got Jungle Boy saying he don't like him.
But okay, to what Chaos Theory says, the thing is, if Bryan Danielson goes back to WWE, I don't think we get to see Bryan Danielson wrestle anymore.
I think if he go back, it's gonna be to do stuff in the like NXT Performance Center.
Yeah, but I still want to. If he's
so as long as he's wrestling, he's gonna be in AEW.
Yeah, that's my point. I think as long as Danielson wants to wrestle, he should stay in AEW. When he's ready to be purely creative, yeah, go back home. But
I'm more looking forward to some of the newer names getting their name up. Like we just seen Damian Priest become a star.
Bad Bunny set the toll for him. He proved. Listen, if they trust you with the highest streamed artist in the world, they trust you.
And according to every report, they are happy because he protected them. Even though he said he got hurt.
Bruh, he took a choke slam off the stage and he was still good as far as you can be getting choke slammed off a fucking stage.
Yeah, and Bunny trusted them to do it too, so that tells you a lot. But like when they tell you to take the ball, Damian Priest took the ball.
He ran with it too. and bruh, they put on, or like we said it then, should have been the main event.
I think it's time. I think it'll wrestle everybody in WWE.
Yeah, I would say I don't think that. And you can bring out. Don't get me wrong, Grayson Waller, for instance. I think he would be amazing with Bryan Danielson. Santos Escobar and Bryan Danielson. Styles clash match that would actually be good because Danielson can work with anybody. There are definitely matches that he could have, but the way that he's positioned, I don't know if he could come back and get heel heat in WWE. He is the leader of the Yes movement forever. And he's just managed to shake the Yes chants in AEW, and they would come back instantaneously as soon as he stepped foot on WWE soil.
I do want to say Shinsuke and AJ, since they took their time off, they have came back hot. Their match has been good. I'm like, Shinsuke really just had a good match with The Miz.
And that's not to diss The Miz. Listen, don't. I was going to say, don't do that to The Miz. The Miz is a consistent ass worker, bruh. He works his style. Let's be honest.
Before Shinsuke went to Japan and wrestled the Great Muta, that match wouldn't have been that good.
Yeah, that's true.
So
but that I feel like that was a rejuvenation for him. He got to go back to his roots. Freaking. Although, I mean, now forever the internet has to live with that picture of him kissing Great Muta to steal the mist and spit it back in his face. But if you watch Japanese wrestling, that was an epic moment.
Promo was good the other day. Did you see it?
Whose promo?
Shinsuke.
No, I didn't see it.
He was it wasn't even really that much of a promo. He was making fun of Damian Priest.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, oh, that's Japanese Shinsuke right there. He like, oh, you lost to Bad Bunny. And then he made fun of him like, that's Japanese Shinsuke. That's not WWE Shinsuke.
I was gonna say, niggas gotta remember, Shinsuke used to have bitches carry him out on a palanquin. A palanquin, nigga.
Yeah, he was saying that like, oh, I'm supposed to be afraid of you, and you lost to Bad Bunny. And I'm like, oh, that's all he had to say. I'm like, okay, that's Japanese.
King of Strong Style, bro. Quit playing with him. He'll catch a wave, and then you can catch these hands.
Yeah, so I was like, okay. But we had Christian Cage and Luchasaurus laid out Wardlow. I do not care for Wardlow. Give it to Christian Cage.
Yeah,
give him the best.
Christian Cage is still so good on the fucking mic. This dude cuts a promo like nobody's business. I hope he can make it. He goes back to that question of, are these gentlemen getting injured a lot? Christian's fresh off an injury. We know Wardlow's a super physical wrestler.
Wardlow, he looks ridiculous without his ponytail.
Yeah, they shouldn't have cut off his hair.
I don't feel like he don't feel important. I don't feel like the crowd's into it.
They're not, bro. They ruined. They killed Wardlow and then used Wardlow's corpse to kill Will Hobbs too.
They hit him with the corpse.
Yeah, they put a bomb in Wardlow's dead body in the form of QT Marshall.
Then we had Lee Moriarty and Big Bill.
Hey, shout out Lee Moriarty. He's a regular on the local independent scene around me. The fucking good old Naptown All Pro. Freaking Lee Moriarty has wrestled many a match there. Shout out to Lee Moriarty.
Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin got the win. Of course, Orange Cassidy gets wins. He probably win more than anybody at AEW. I'm pretty sure that's a fact. Like an actual statistic, freaking Orange Cassidy has more wins than anybody. But you also got to remember, and he always wrestles.
Yeah, but you also got to remember Tony Khan dressed up as Orange Cassidy for Halloween one year too. So take that as you will. You didn't never see freaking Vince McMahon dress up as The Rock. That was Triple H.
You did see Triple H.
I was going to say Triple H and Shawn Michaels in full blackface, yo.
We had Hikaru Shida and Britt Baker lose to the Outcast. I do not care about the Outcast.
But man, Toni Storm, so fucking sexy, bro. She has the pigtails. Her ass, bro. Shout out Juice. Did you know Rock Hard Juice Robinson is married to Toni Storm? Did not know that, but yeah, shout out to that nigga. I was like, God damn, Juice. You better I had to bring back the dreadlocks for her.
Then we had Roger Strong, Chris Jericho, and it's kind of predictable.
Hey, listen.
As soon as he went out the door, he was like, oh, this is set up.
No, but a lot of people were seeing it was going to be set up the other way. They were going to go out I could have seen TK, and I'm glad he didn't.
The whole thing was Adam Cole couldn't ruin it.
Yeah, but it was also the Jericho Appreciation Society was
But they already kind of did that, so I don't think they would do it twice.
What, they went outside and had the Jericho Appreciators jump somebody?
Like that, but like they had a rule that they couldn't.
But no,
be in the ringside, then you go in the backstage and.
I honestly, I thought that it was because listen. Tony's got me conditioned. I was pretty sure I'd damn near bet money that he was going to have Roderick Strong freaking lose his debut against Chris Jericho.
I figured it was going to be Adam Cole because it's going to set up Adam Cole versus Jericho.
Well, see, I figured Adam Cole would be out there, but then the rest of the JAS would come in too, and then it's like 5-on-2, so there's still not shit you can do. But that JAS didn't show up. I was happy to see that. Roderick Strong got the win. I just don't care about Chris Jericho, and it sucks because Adam Cole used to be one of my favorite wrestlers. And,
I already know how much I love Adam Cole, and I'm like,
and think we actually have it. You could bring out if we could get the whatever problems Bobby Fish has. I mean, Kyle O'Reilly's hopefully going to be back from injury soon, and you could actually have a UE reunion.
I don't know, but will you feel the same? Because he ain't no chance Tony Khan doing the Golden Prophecy.
No, but I don't know.
No, he ain't giving it to no Bobby Fish, no tag team champions.
There's a trios title. You put a singles belt on Adam Cole, and then you put a trios title on Red Dragon. But it ain't the top. No, but listen and think. No, we can't say that because we're not going to act like the trios titles weren't meant for the top of AEW and the Young Bucks.
I'm talking about Adam Cole ain't winning that main championship right now.
No. But you could put a TNT title on him. There's the international title.
The secondary title.
Yeah, but it still would have been gold. You know what I mean?
It don't hit the same.
The original Golden Prophecy.
Think about Kenny Omega as the title collector, but with all secondary belts, it's not the same.
No, but it's still something because
depends
on how like we already know with Gunther, whoever takes the IC title off of Gunther when he's ready to challenge for the heavyweight title, they're gonna have an amazing run because they're gonna be a monster killer.
First off, if I'm Adam Cole, I don't want that TNT title. Do not give me
but no, I don't want to say that because I think
that thing is cursed at this point.
No, but they need someone to save it. They've got to have the right champion for it. Because I think low-key, my favorite TNT champion, even though he wasn't the champion for too long, RIP Brody Lee. I liked Brody Lee's TNT title run. I like Darby Allin's. As far as Sammy Guevara's, I didn't care for Sammy Guevara's 3 reigns at all. Who? Sammy's? Yeah, Sammy's Cody Rhodes. The cutter off the ladders. It was a good touch. I think that was the first time he won it, though, wasn't it?
That was the
second time. No, that was Cody's last match.
You talking about him winning?
I'm talking about Sammy Guevara because he won the TNT Championship 3 fucking times.
That's his way of being.
And then we had Wardlow had a lackluster run. Samoa Joe.
Wardlow technically didn't defend it and then lost.
Lost it to Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe then lost it back to Wardlow. Wardlow then lost it to Will Hobbs. Will Hobbs then lost it back to Wardlow.
And in 2 things that didn't need to happen.
But I think Darby Allin and Brody Lee were my favorite TNT title runs, and those were both earlier on in AEW at this point.
It wasn't cursed then.
Scorpio Sky too. Scorpio Sky.
That's the last one I thought before the curse happened.
Because he had he did the Laker colors on his TNT
I think
title.
right after that,
I do sort of like the gimmick though, that when you win the TNT title, you can sort of change it. You can change it. I like that. If Tony wants to waste his money. No, it's WCW.
Yeah,
bro.
I think they want to be WCW.
It's WCW.
You see the titles up there.
I see where you get the ECW vibes though, because we're not gonna.
That's mostly John Moxley by himself.
And don't forget Kenny Omega brought out a barbed wire wrapped broom, nigga, and then gave it to Hangman Page. What the fuck? You're the cleaner. Why'd you give the broom? I know, but listen, he's the cleaner. The fuck do you give the broom to fucking Hangman for?
John Moxley wants to be ECW. I think the rest of them want to be WCW.
GCW is the closest that you're getting, but GCW is a little bloodier than even ECW was, though.
ECW is safer. GCW is like reckless.
Yeah.
You should probably not watch GCW. I'm just being...
Joey Janela, fucking...
I mean, people
faces...
People ears hang off on that show.
Effie randomly starts jerking off in the ring too. That can happen with a GC. He did that with John Moxley as he was getting chick choked out.
Yeah, they put
Mox is don't get me started. Listen, you go back, you watch the freaking watch 2 weeks ago when we had Kenny Omega versus John Moxley. When Kenny Omega goes to put the barbed wire wrapped freaking steel chair on Mox's back, when he goes to jump on him, you can literally watch John Moxley blade. There's countless other times you can catch him in the corner. There's been times where he's left the blade sitting out after he cut himself. And low-key, you sort of have to blame the cameraman to a certain extent, too, because if you're going to be shooting wrestling, you should know that you should be how do I say this? The cameraman should be informed ahead of time if there are going to be spots in the match where someone's going to get juice. So they know they can see a cue of some sort in the ring and know that they shouldn't be shooting a close-up on this person at this point. And it doesn't feel like AEW does that.
Now let's go through this. Jungle Boy Jack Perry versus Roosh, and you almost ruined the Four Pillars match because when Jungle Boy took the outside thing, he almost laid on his neck, and I was like, "Oh, that was close."
He took that freaking, I don't know what you want to call it, but that was a scary ass bump, bro. It was.
It's like his forehead. Bump. If he would have landed a second shorter, we wouldn't have no Four Pillars match.
But he almost didn't get any rotation on. That was the thing. He was coming down at such a scary fucking angle. I don't know what you do if you landed on like that.
I'm happy he's a good wrestler. So I'm happy I'm happy in general that no wrestler should.
It's always amazing when somebody doesn't fucking die in the ring.
Yeah. But that's a dangerous spot, and especially when you got a big match coming up. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need you taking risky spots when you got a Four Pillars match, which is important to TK in this.
Yeah, and we all know I'm not a big fan of the multi-man match, but I want it because when they first did the Four Pillars, I'm such a fucking Japanese wrestling nerds. I thought I'm an All Japan fan. So the Four Pillars mean something to me. And I liked the idea of the Four Pillars. At the time when it was implemented, I liked the Four Pillars. And the only two that are worth it.
He should have heated them up. He's got to heat them up before.
But you got to think the only ones that are worth a damn at this point in time are freaking Darby Allin and MJF.
Sammy Guevara is literally a sidekick.
Bruh, to the highest degree, he's a sidekick. And
you should at least did a storyline when he broke away
like
from
I said, now they got him trying to work on this fucking tweener shit. Like, let the dude be a heel. Because we don't want to see babyface Sammy Guevara with his lame Titan video.
He wasn't considered a pillar. He was a founder, so that's the
difference. Yeah, I was like I think he means like the actual pillar of the company. Because you got to remember, when Cody was in AEW, there was AEW, and then there was the Cody segment of AEW. That is true.
But Tori talking about like the four
pillar, like All Japan had.
What they gonna grow?
Yeah, they had the four.
Like Kenny Omega and Cody Rhodes are older, so they like these are the four people we're gonna grow the business around. And he did a terrible job with two of them specifically.
The four pillars they're building the foundation on, which is
two of them he did a horrible job with.
And low key, Britt Baker might have been right. She might have been a better pillar than fucking Jungle Boy at this point. Jungle Boy was the TNT champion, wasn't he? Lackluster ass title run.
I forgot he was even one.
Exactly.
You shocked me when you said that he was.
I'm pretty sure. Folks, you can fact check me. But I'm fairly sure Jungle Boy won the freaking.
Chaos Theory is not a fan of
AEW. He's not a fan of AEW at all. And listen, no, because we know that I love the performers in AEW. The wrestlers there, they have top tier, really good wrestlers there. Even my problems with Kenny Omega and John Moxley and the Young Bucks, freaking, I can still respect the fact that their in-ring work is good.
Let's get the Ricky Starr, Jay White. I was disappointed in this match with the two people.
Oh, man. What have we done to... TK is completely wasting Jay White right now. That nigga should be on a run for a TNT title, a run for fucking an international title from Orange Cat. Listen, Jay White is such a good promo and so good in the ring. Like, what are we doing?
It was That match was disappointment for the two people I was in the match. I'm like, oh, this should
be
good.
Ricky Starks, bro. You got to remember, there was a point in time where niggas were like, Ricky Starks reminds me of a young Rock, bro. We're not getting that now.
And then, of course, we had the segment where everybody came out and we had Don Callis tell everybody what he did, and then the Elite came out and then Hangman Jordan.
Is it bad whenever I see Don Callis? I think back to him as the Jackal in ECW with the long wispy hair and the circle glasses and the fucking weird little doeskin vest and shit.
Yeah.
Every time I see Don Callis, I think back to him being the Jackal in ECW, and it cracks me up every fucking time.
But yeah, that segment was like, it was just a setup, like, we are the Elite, and then we are the Elite. And it's the moment Tony Khan got his moment that he wanted for the Elite to say the Elite.
With the last match, though, I just want to say that is a perfect example of TK's bad booking. We know that Ricky Starks is amazing. We know that Jay White's amazing. On paper, Jay White versus Ricky Starks
should be a pay-per-view.
It should be a pay-per-view caliber match all day. And because you've got us in this weird-ass fucking Bullet Club Gold bullshit, fucking, we can't get that. And it's a waste. Listen, Jay, you should have held out a little bit longer. You should have forced a call back with WWE because I guarantee you,
he fits WWE better than
bruh, I'd have took it. Could you imagine? I'd watch.
I know he was scared. Vince came back for a little bit. We was all scared.
It scared him and FTR. And look at FTR. It did. I was gonna say we almost gave up the show. I was gonna say we almost gave up the ghost when we thought Vince was in control again. So
he came back for one show.
It's understandable. But look at the people who decided to turn it down. Look at Jay White. He's in a lackluster feud with Ricky Starks. Look at fucking FTR. They're the tag champions.
What they doing?
But they're going against fucking Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal for the love of Mark Briscoe. What the fuck is that? FTR is the best tag team in the world.
Yeah, why Jeff Jarrett win so much? He is 60 years old.
Bruh. Slapnuts don't play.
I feel like I'm watching WCW. Why is Jeff Jarrett still winning?
It's crazy. And why is Karen Jarrett, they're punching niggas nuts?
Main Event Mafia coming back with a new type
Sting's turning heel on Darby Allin, folks. The Main Event Mafia is, in fact, coming back.
Samoa Joe's going to be in it. They only missing...
No, they got to bring back Scott Steiner, too.
Is Scott going to come with his nephew in WWE?
Well, we know he's pissed off because WWE didn't want to sell him a Legends contract like they did his brother.
The only reason his brother came because his son, and that's his dad.
Yeah,
I guess he.
But hey, we ain't gonna act like Legends contracts is smooth, bro. Get paid a couple $100,000 a year just to show up for fucking award shows and maybe be on camera once a year.
I do feel like it's a.
He's completely right. We know TK is fucking living out all of our freaking fantasy booking.
I brought it up to Tora a few weeks ago, and I brought up every reason why. Everything is repeated WCW.
But you got to think, it doesn't help when you got
CM Punk literally got Hulk Hogan like them by the balls because of this contract.
Yeah, right.
So he got Hulk Hogan,
which isn't $1 billion, folks. Let's be for real. Warner Brothers is not offering Tony Khan $1 billion deal for AEW. It's not happening. I'm sure it is a substantial amount of money, that deal. There ain't no hundreds of millions of dollars, probably. But there ain't no way they're offering him $1 billion. Even if it offers,
didn't they offer SmackDown for $1 billion?
Well, you got to think even with the starting rate on TV shows, they stand to make $52 million a year from Collision. So, because it's $500,000 a show, freaking a show a week, all 52 weeks. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I mean, either way, bruh, Tony Khan, people hype him up. He's won Booker of the Year 2 years, 3 years in a row for some of the most garbage booking we've seen with some of the best talent we've seen. I don't know, bruh. It's sad.
Let's go over NXT. Yeah, we done talked about Raw a little bit. That's more we ever talked about Raw.
Oh, wait. We had to get to the eye patch moment though.
Oh, yeah, I kind of already talked about it. So I was just like, I don't care about
it. We had the what? Wait, there was a match that was before. What wasn't there? No, we had
No,
Don
that
Callis.
Callis promo.
Yeah,
It's
as
a
I say,
promo,
Don
and then
Callis's promo, and then
they came out. We are the elite, and then
Kenny came out and beat up the freaking security. Didn't he beat up the security to get to the ring? Or
yeah, but
didn't
it's when they was in the ring. They like, we are the elite, and Kenny came out looking like he was beat up, and then all of a sudden the Young Bucks came up and it's 3-on-4, and then they hyped it up in there. But then Hangman thing came and they all went to the ring, and then he threw him the thing.
I did like the elite. The elite incarnation with Hangman and Cody was their best era, in my opinion.
I like Hangman with him. I just hate the eye patch.
Bro, the eye patch is crazy. I don't know. TK's got a weird obsession with using it. John Moxley had an eye patch. Now fucking which, of course, the two dudes that kayfabe hate each other with a passion both end up with eye patches. Tony's booking is so unironic.
Shout out to Alistair Black for keeping his eyes like grayed out from when
I was gonna say he puts that one contact in every fucking show.
You totally know I love continuity. He went to AEW and like,
listen,
I lost my eye.
Low key. Listen, I saw a lot of people that dislike this whole house rules little challenge. I like it, bro. I like the House of Black as trios champions. I like the 20, even though fucking we know that they don't honor any 10 counts on the outside in AEW anyways. So, but the 20 count gives you an excuse for that. No rope breaks gives you a freaking sense of the pure title. I like how they're the trios champion and they're giving us these different aspects of wrestling in their rules.
Next we got NXT. We start with Fallon Henley, Cora Jade. Cora Jade is a star. Fallon Henley is okay. She getting better. She young.
Cora Jade's the one that young Braun Breaker's knocking down, right?
I like how you describe her. I guess what she is.
That's how I remember. That's how I remember her.
Somehow Monte is more sexist in wrestling than Tori, and it's like the strangest thing I've ever seen.
And that's hard to do. I preach the dissolving of NXT's women. I mean AEW's women's division every week.
But you go somewhere else though in wrestling. But
yeah.
Monte said they don't need a wrestler. Oh shit!
Hey, Monte's like, I want bra and panty matches back. God damn it! You want to be on my screen? I need you to be getting naked.
She you sit there like Miss Elizabeth and you don't talk. That's why.
Hey.
I'm this is wild to say. What the wrong with you, Monte? Ain't that what he said? He's like, be like Miss Elizabeth and shit.
That was along the lines of what he said. That's it.
And they said, be like Miss Elizabeth. I said,
but no, I'm sure I haven't extensively watched Cora Jade. I've seen a couple of her matches.
She's amazing.
But I remember her as the nice young lady that young Braun Breaker's knocking down.
She's amazing. She has a lot of potential.
That's the one that she's Sky Blue's fucking twin, bro. I swear they were separated at birth.
She's not as good as a wrestler as Roxanne, but she got great character work.
Yeah, but Roxanne,
you seen one of her matches. You saw her when she was doing the
Roxanne
skateboard.
She got the perfect little booty though. Roxanne does. That thing is prodigious. That's why she's called the Prodigy, because she got the prodigious mini butt cake rocking.
But yeah, you seen her match though. You saw the War Games match when she jumped off and she was like, "Oh, Vince must believe in her."
Yeah, because
she was a skateboard kid, and then she also the one that threw it in the trash. The tag titles.
Have we seen Gigi Dolan since they for some reason broke up her and JC Jane?
Yeah, she wrestled matches and lost to Laya Valkyrie. NXT UK's Laya Valkyrie. Who's really good in the ring.
It's just Taya Valkyrie with an L.
Yeah. And she actually had that name first, way before Taya did, which is great because she had it. She was in NXT UK when it started, and she had that name. And then Taya Valkyrie, you copied my name. Like I had this name first.
Damn, cold game. Well, wait, didn't Taya Valkyrie use that name on the Indies though? So she probably did have the name longer than her.
Did she? I don't even know.
I don't know. I just feel because I know Taya's been in the game.
What's her name different in what's her name different in Impact?
I don't know because it's Taya Valkyrie on AEW and they usually use their original indie names. Do you think we get Mercedes at Monet at Forbidden Door?
I don't know. They had to pay her.
TK got the wallet for that. Well, Shad's got the wallet for that. Let me say it correctly. What?
I'm looking at Chaos Theory comment. Is it? Oh. Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. Trick Williams cut amazing promo, of course. The Creed brothers with Ivan Now and the Diane versus Avery Rain was really good, by the way. The only weak part
the Creed brothers, they're so freaking good. I can't wait till they get up to the main roster and I can watch them consistently.
Yeah, and then we had.
I hope we get a good run out of Pretty Deadly too. This was a decent start. All the NXT guys are getting decent looks. Cameron Grimes, Pretty Deadly.
Yeah, they getting vignettes. They getting
Papa H doing right by his children.
They actually getting, like, when they come in, they make an impact. It feel like they actually make an impact.
Yeah, if Cameron Grimes is the catalyst that's used to get me Sad Corbin back, let's go.
He beat that man so fast, it was hilarious.
Bruh. But the cave-in is a devastating looking move, though. Shout out to him.
Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams went versus Drew Gulak and Charlie Dempsey. Drew Gulak, of course, took the pin.
Man, I need to watch more Charlie Dempsey, but the stuff I've seen from Charlie Dempsey has been good. He looks like he's a
he looks like his daddy Mo every day. I'm like,
and from what I've seen, to a certain extent, he wrestles like his dad too.
Like, it looked like every week he becomes, like, at
he's
first it's like, really, he looks different.
Work. You can tell that old William was out there. Steven Regal was telling him what was what.
Lash Legend and Jakari Jackson had a scene with Noam Dar. The people love them now.
I love Noam Dar. I'm not gonna lie.
They love all of them. They segment. They like, we want all three of them together doing things. So that's dope. By the way, Jakari Jackson and Lash Legend is interesting. You know, like, does this fit under, like, Vince's racism thing? Because they like typical black women.
You said Lash Legend's getting better in the ring slowly but surely.
Yeah, she's not absolutely atrocious and terrible, and I think somebody's gonna get injured. So now she just
because she was getting started when I was still watching NXT, and she had some.
I hear some people bullshit get hurt matches. There people gonna get hurt. Now she's like, oh, she there.
She gave me Nia Jax vibes back then.
Now she's just there, Tor. Yeah, which is an improvement over.
She can talk though. I'll give her that. Yeah, from what I remember, she can talk.
We had Kiana James versus Thea Hale. Thea Hale is a 19-year-old girl who's strong as shit, but
she's sexy as hell too. Thea Hale looks amazing.
Kiana James can wrestle, so that's good. Wesley had an in-ring segment, always good. You know
they should bring back his tag partner though, because I from what I've seen. I don't think people.
Tyler Bate and Joey Gacy versus him gonna be in a pay-per-view match soon for and that's gonna.
I like Joe Gacy though. What are they doing? What are they doing with I can never remember the dude's name, but he's one of the only people I like on NXT. The niggas.
Honestly, John's on Raw.
I know that.
I was so confused. I'm like, he don't never wrestle on NXT.
But no, what's his name? Tony D'Angelo. I'm intrigued by Tony D'Angelo.
He's going against Gallus for him and
him and his Blackie.
Yeah.
Going for tag gold.
Yeah, they had a little skid in the bar because they always in the bar.
They should take the North American title off Wesley and put it on Tony D'Angelo.
So he's going against Gallus, so it's gonna be an interesting thing. They had a little bar scene.
Joe Gacy and Tony D'Angelo are the ones I like most from this current NXT roster, not including Braun Breaker, of course, because Braun Breaker should be main roster side by now. But
Tony D'Angelo's so good.
He really is. That kid's good on the mic. The match I saw with him, that match he had with Santos Escobar was like, bruh.
I thought, ain't no way you getting this gimmick over now. And he did it. And I'm like, oh.
And the thing is, that was a Vince-looking gimmick, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
A Vince, a Russo gimmick, whatever you want to call it. That was one of those.
We had Roxanne Perez, Jason Jane. Roxanne wins over Jason Jane. Gigi Dolan, of course, distracts a little bit.
Man, I don't know why they broke up Toxic Attraction when they have two sets of. Well, I guess since NXT doesn't have women's tag titles right now,
they're basically on SmackDown.
Yeah.
And then the other one's gonna be on Raw. So I'm like, are they putting the tag titles on both shows?
Oh, I hope not, because he's
actually changed his gimmick now a little bit because Bray came back. He done completely changed the gimmick since Bray been back.
Yeah, he okay. Well, I didn't know that, but he was doing it okay though. It wasn't like a poor imitation of.
No, it was actually good.
It was really. He had the culty feel.
You too close to Bray though, and people.
I just mean,
and then you got Bray, and then you're like,
ooh. But I also didn't like how they were doing the grizzled young veterans.
But they more normal now. They had a match with
because one of the best tag team matches NXT UK ever had was freaking Pretty Deadly versus the Grizzled Young Veterans.
Pretty Deadly so good, bro. I'm glad they got that win tonight.
I am too.
I'm like, yo, Tripp's putting the young boys on.
And let's be honest, Pretty Deadly versus Sammy and KO, that could be comedy fucking gold. Yes, boy.
I'm looking for, but that was NXT. And then you had the Dijak Dragunov skit in which Ilya came and he was doing his little Dijak.
Is Dijak still White Blade?
Basically, he's like, I like to hurt people. And Ilya came up to him. He walked in. He said, "You can't break me. Nothing you can do can break me." So he's like, "You want to make a bet?"
Ilya versus Dijak could be.
I think it's gonna be a last man standing match because he said you can't break him.
That could be clutch. I ain't even gonna lie.
So basically, what happened is he put him through a bunch of torture, and then Ilya, I'm still standing, Dijak. And then Dijak just looked behind him like this, and then walked off, and they hinting at a match now. And I'm like, and he was like, he had like a little hit of blood. He's like, I'm still standing. And I'm like, that kind of made Ilya look a badass.
I mean, but Ilya is so amazing, and he's the only person only person ever that got over their finisher being a flying shoulder tackle, bruh. Torpedo Moscow is a banger of a fucking move. And it's literally like a flying, rolling shoulder block.
Yo, my man, that
shoulder block can take out Gunther. So you watch out for that Torpedo Moscow, Dijak.
Dragon Lee, JD, NXT had a string of them boys.
Yeah, but the NXT,
I do too. I was happy when they first was like it was like mental illness type thing.
Yeah,
and then it went back to Supernatural. Uncle Howdy like making things explode. And I'm like,
and Uncle Howdy's horrible dive off the Titantron to take out freaking LA Knight, or who was it? Was it
LA Knight? He was crawling to get it off.
The craziest fucking flying press ever. Horrible form, Bo. Horrible form.
He was crawling so fast.
He tried so hard to get underneath that. That's why LA Knight, deserves to have a title. It deserves to be a main player.
The rumors he's supposed to possibly win. He completely did. He jumped way over there.
Yo, if we get LA Knight and Pretty Deadly together, they could just be like, yeah, boy. You take the yes out of yes, boy, and you put the yeah in front of it. Vince, send me a check. I'm booking shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy. I don't know, bro. There's something so catchy about Pretty Deadly's "Yes, Boy," though. Something about "Yes, Boy." But
Pretty Deadly probably sooner or later be with Seth Rollins. He just wears some of the most awkward gear that make Monte mad. I love when Monte be mad at whatever Seth Rollins.
But hey, we ain't gonna act like the disciples of Seth Rollins in here. Buddy Murphy, Trios champion in AEW. Austin Theory, U.S. champion. Fucking
They did. Shout out to Will though. I'm always happy when YouTubers or people like that come from there.
Hey, shout out to Will. TK's. I'm glad he's hiring people. I just wish he'd hire a booker. He missed out on Gabe Sapolsky. Still one of the biggest blunders he ever could have made because we see how Gabe was booking over. And
Gabe was a GCW event 2 weeks ago, I think.
which is an amazing because he's still in the creative room at freaking. But that does.
I think they say he recruiting.
I was about to say, is Gabe Sapolsky out poaching?
I think they say he recruiting. So yeah, indie shows. That's what they be saying. I'm like Triple H, let him book. You go to that show.
Because niggas got quit acting, bruh. Gabe Sapolsky gave us the Perk Angle run, bruh. Niggas thought Kurt Angle was through, and through the power of Percocets and fucking Gabe Sapolsky, he gave us a string of some of the craziest matches ever in Impact, bruh.
That man did a front flip on a
for
bitch.
no reason. No reason at all. Perk Angle's perky dance was different. This nigga was like, I'm finna hit a forward moonsault for no reason at all. Ain't even nobody down there. But bruh, yeah, I'm just happy Gabe's got a job. Gabe was unemployed for far too long. Vince was stupid for firing him to begin with.
Like and subscribe, all this stuff, man.
Hit all
Tip
the
here
buttons.
right here if you want to support the
notification
channel.
bell too. Don't forget that.
Moonsault off the cage. He did, bruh. Perk Angle did whatever.
Perk Angle was, and think, it was Gabe booking all that stuff at the time.
Yo, we gotta give Baron Corbin need to go back to Sadcom, but we gotta give him credit. He is the last person to pin Roman Reigns. He did end Kurt Angle's basically retired.
He did retire Kurt Angle. He was the last person to get a dub on Roman Reigns. Freaking, and don't forget he covered him with dog food. Because Roman Reigns was the big dog, so of course you gave the big dog food.
Y'all keep saying that Triple H booking ain't
Vince's senile booking, though. That was Vince's. That's when you really knew when
JD New York 206 from New York 206. Listen, bro, Vince booking. This is not. You don't remember. We had Vince booking that one night after Mania, and y'all saw how bad that was.
Yeah, exactly. We were ready to end the show. We were like, we're done covering wrestling, bro.
I'm like,
fuck that. If Pat's coming back, put that motherfucker in the ring. We got.
It's gonna be kind of hard. He signed to ESPN now.
I know, but ESPN will have a relationship with WWE.
I'm pretty sure they do. They already got a relationship with
UFC. And Endeavor owns both of them, so almost ipso
But now it's not even Endeavor. What is it, TKO? Whatever.
Yeah, TKO, whatever it's called.
I don't know.
They got so much money they had to change the name. It wasn't an Endeavor anymore.
Yes, I think it's TKO, whatever. So let's see what they do. I know UFC still got their deal for ESPN for a little bit, so I don't know. Fox, I heard they ain't advertising SmackDown as much, and they deal coming to the end. So maybe ESPN officially bought them.
I'm also wondering how it'll go because in the UK, WWE's distributed by BT Sport, but BT Sport was just bought by TNT and is about to become TNT Sport. So is there a conflict of interest with them carrying WWE programming while also carrying AEW programming?
Is there ESPN in UK?
I honestly, I'm not the person to ask that.
Yeah, there's ESPN UK.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I think
I just saw earlier.
I think ESPN. By the way, people that don't know, Disney technically own Fox, but they don't.
Yeah, it's just because
they can't own it technically. It's probably gonna be
monopoly
like
laws, folks.
It's probably gonna be what Microsoft does with
Activision.
You're gonna probably end up with Microsoft. Yeah, Pat McAfee, one of my favorite people.
Yeah,
y'all know, I love you too. I love you too.
Pat, hey, yeah,
they bet on themselves.
Pat's amazing, Brad. Pat versus Adam Cole, one of my favorite NXT angles ever. Pat showed out in the War Games match. I mean, Pat versus, wasn't it Baron Corbin that he had the match with at Mania?
Yeah.
Bruh.
Was it Mania? Yeah. I know he Austin Theory at Mania.
No. Oh, yeah, it was Theory. That's what I was thinking.
I know he had a match with Baron Corbin, too.
He did have a match with Baron Corbin.
Yeah, he did have a match with Baron Corbin.
Because you're right. It was the Austin Theory match at Mania.
Because he got stunned by Austin. Was that at SummerSlam?
It might have been at SummerSlam, but
SummerSlam. It was at SummerSlam.
But yeah, bro, Pat's so amazing on the mic, and he's good in the ring too. He was also trained by fucking Rip Rogers in Indiana. You know what it is. So, I mean, Pat McAfee also, his studios in Indianapolis. He was a punter for the Colts. Pat's always going to be freaking. Yeah, they were really good on this show. You are correct.
You could never told me 2 years ago that Pat McAfee might be the third best celebrity to come in wrestling.
Yeah, bruh, but think, celebrity. Listen, if you're not as good as Pat McAfee, Logan Paul, or Bad Bunny, don't get in the fucking ring.
I think Steve Amell the lowest you can do now. Steve Amell is the lowest you can do.
And hey, let's not even hate, because Steve Amell trained with the Young Bucks, and he showed the fuck out in ROH.
He was good.
Stephen Amell was good. And even, I mean, the infamous David Arquette versus David Arquette had a death match with Nick Gage. That nigga busted out the pizza cutter on him. After he said, "Hey, don't cut my face," Nick Gage was like, "Oh, nigga, this is a death match. I gotta get you with the pizza cutter, dog."
That's crazy. You say he the third best, unless you really gonna say that like Logan Paul signed to WWE, so he's not technically a celebrity wrestler.
But think, Pat McAfee was signed as a commentator.
Yeah, he was signed as a commentator, but Logan Paul is completely signed as a
But I mean, still, they were signed by the company. But I'm saying, Logan Paul, like I said, I'm pretty sure he was trained by freaking... Do you honestly sit there, you're going to tell me that you think Bad Bunny is better than Logan Paul? Chaos Theory. Come on. And I respect Bad Bunny is amazing.
I wouldn't argue this, but you said by far. And I don't know
that's what got me. The by far, because don't get me wrong, Bad Bunny can wrestle.
If you say Bad Bunny first, I'm like,
man, Logan Paul stole Hangman's finisher, bro. The Maverick Lariat. I don't know, bro. We're gonna have to agree to disagree. Don't get me wrong. I love Bunny's. Bunny can hit a.
I do want to see him away from two of the best in the business.
Yeah, I would say.
Because Logan Paul did
nothing but wrestle the best.
He had Roman Reigns, which every match Roman feels like the biggest match in the world. I don't know how.
Don't forget that Logan Paul match. When he was in the tag match with The Miz, he was going against Rey Mysterio.
So I do want to see him versus, even though Damian Priest is not a slouch in the ring at all. So.
No, Damian Priest is.
But when you in a match with Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, that's 1-2 in WWE. So it's not like.
Exactly, and taking L's to listen.
So I do get what you're saying if you want to argue that.
Yeah, I can see. I don't know. Bunny, I feel Logan gives me much more of like a traditional wrestler vibe, and I think it's a bit of a sizeist in me because of how much smaller Bunny is.
I will say this though. Bad Bunny felt bigger because he is a bigger star.
But yeah, most definitely. We're not talking about star power comparisons at all.
If you want to, and Logan Paul is by far not a small.
Yeah, but he is also.
But Bad
Puerto
Bunny
Rico's his home. You know what I mean? He's Puerto Rican. Anyone you take Logan Paul to Ohio, they're gonna go stupid, bruh. You know what I mean?
But Bad Bunny is
not Bad Bunny.
But if we just talk about pure in ring, it's a little tougher.
Yeah, I was gonna say purely in ring. I don't think
I might go with Logan Paul, but if you go
listen, because I'm gonna be honest. Do you think that Bad Bunny? You think Bad Bunny can hit a fucking buckshot lariat? Honestly,
Logan's freakish
because it's such a hard move. Like you've seen. Look, CM Punk couldn't hit it, bruh. And niggas. I mean, come on, CM Punk's one of the best to ever do it.
One thing I do want to talk about it. That was a massive moment for wrestling when Bad Bunny came out.
Bruh. And he was super smart. He switched his entrance song.
But that's kind of his gimmick. He's the social media star, so that's what he would do.
Yeah.
And plus, it's the most viral moment in WWE probably in the last, 3 years?
Maybe longer.
Bro, I'm saying that was a very viral moment. And then him with KSI was also very viral. So
yeah, okay.
Pulling KSI was a good thing, but you also gotta say you said it acted like it was a real fight. They wasn't a street fight. So
I was gonna say I think that was the point. And we gotta acknowledge the fact that they did a street fight because outside the only other way to protect it, they didn't want to have him have another freaking tag team match. So a street match was the only way that you can make sure that Bad Bunny, and this isn't to say anything negative towards him, but I don't feel like the WWE were quite confident enough in him to have a straight up on the books match like freaking they had with Logan Paul. You know what I mean? And the street match makes it very
But I do get
easy.
what you're saying. If you're talking about feel, Bad Bunny
Oh
felt
yeah,
like WWE
if we're talking about vibe, pop, crowd reaction,
wrestling felt like this is Stone Cold, dog.
Yeah, bro, come on.
That was a Stone Cold pop.
But I'm talking about as far as in ring work though. I don't think Bad Bunny's even close to Logan Paul, bro. Logan Paul feels like a legitimate wrestler, and Bad Bunny does too. But we just got to acknowledge that there's a big difference in an amazing street fight and as opposed to an amazing in the ring straight up match.
But I'm happy both of them. By the way, Bad Bunny, I think that was a moment for wrestling.
But I also want to get
the point
across.
We don't
underestimate. Think about how much harder it would be to swallow, just visually, the Bad Bunny win if he had beat Damian Priest in a straight up match, no weapons. With that size difference, think of how crazy the optics would have been. When you add in the freaking street fight elements, of course you can believe that freaking believe Bad Bunny.
A lot of crap in that match.
Yeah, Logan Paul. I don't think Seth carried him that much. There were obviously, it was obvious Seth was leading the match. Obviously,
Seth is gonna lead every match.
I was going to say he's a real veteran and a ring general for real.
Best in the world.
Yeah, like I said, people forget Seth Rollins won Wrestler of the Year last year. Wrestler of the Year with a 76% loss rate, and we still recognize he's the best. So I get definitely wrestling with Seth Rollins is like a cheat code because he can wrestle a boom.
I want to see him away from Roman and Seth to see how he do without them.
But I feel like he's going to kill it. I feel like because he had the match with The Miz too, didn't he?
Yeah, The Miz match was all right.
Yeah, the Miz match was okay. He looked good in it. He looked amazing. But
again, like he did say, I do want to see him away from Seth and Roman to see how he do. Can you beat him?
That's why I brought up the Miz match because that wasn't Seth or Roman. You know what I mean? He got it done.
But he also learned from them too, so I want to see what he can do after he learned from them too. See,
yeah,
you can learn a lot from Roman Reigns. Being in Roman Reigns teach you a lot.
But I feel like Seth is such a cheat code to wrestle with, so I get what he was saying about Seth carrying them. But Seth, like you said, Seth's going to lead in any match that he's in.
Bro, I wish wrestlers would just learn from Roman Reigns the way Kobe learned. Like, bro, the crowd heat and he just fanned it with the belts. Toward that it just got level.
Bro, he knows that Roman's in-ring psychology is second to none, in my opinion.
Tor, when they came back, he had Daniel Bryan in the chokehold. I will sit here all night until y'all shut up. I'm like, oh, he doing that Triple H right there.
Yep. But stalling the crowd is important. That's how you build the heat. That's fanning the little. You get the embers started,
and before the Cody match,
slow it down, and that's the airflow that starts the flame.
And then before the match. The TikTok. Sometimes the bad guys win. I'm like, this dude do everything right.
Exactly. But think about how long he did everything Vince's way. So, of course, he's doing it right now.
I'm like, everything he does works. And I'm like, he on that level. I see what John Cena was talking about. Y'all saw that clip? When John Cena said, I could never do what Roman Reigns did right now.
But to get back to the question, though, I think Bad Bunny's amazing, but I think we can firmly agree as far as in-ring work goes, Logan Paul's got the edge.
Oh, let me see if I can find this clip, and then we're gonna end the show.
Yeah, I might if I disappear midway through. It died.
Okay. Well, we're about to end the show. Well, I can't find it right, but John Cena basically said Roman Reigns doing something I cannot do. Everybody that gets in the ring with him feels like a megastar, and the one thing I always struggle with. Is in a match with me, they felt big, but after they don't.
Yeah. But Roman, the thing is, Roman gives you that continued, thing. Even after Drew McIntyre, Drew McIntyre, freaking
Buddy Matthews when he was Buddy Matthews. Even Dom. People forget Dom became heel after Roman threw him, powerbombed him off.
Yeah. Well, I'd have turned heel after Rhea Ripley wrapped her legs around my head, too. I ain't gonna lie.
No problem, Chaos, man. We'll be here every Friday after the Smackdown, so I do appreciate you for coming through,
Most
my guy.
definitely.
Tori, where can they find you?
You already know, AfroCommy765 on all platforms. Of course, you can catch me here on Overall 99 Media, being an Overall 99 scumbag. Casual conversations on Wednesday. We're getting back on the grind. I've been out of it, but just a fan wrestling on Fridays. You know the vibe. Something flagrant, something inflammatory.
Shout out to Joe. Joe is here. Joe, show your face. There you go, Joe. Hey, Joe. Put the TV flicks on her. TNA flicks. That's who that guy is. But you can find me, of course, Overall 99 Media. I'll be that. Casual Conversation Wednesdays, Just a Fan Wrestling. I do 100 shows. I got to film 3 more things, and it's 11 o'clock. And I've been on this chair since like 4. So
no wrestling wicked, yo.
So I do appreciate y'all. Appreciate Joe for coming in with my name because it's Tuesday, May.
Let's go.
It's time to play the game. All right, time to turn the lights off. I appreciate y'all. Hey, hold on. Turn the lights on. I said turn the lights on. Oh, it don't want to work.
This nigga almost died.
Should have spit water instead of alcohol. All right. That man stopped drinking a week. He can't stop coughing. All right. I appreciate y'all. I know it's been long. Let's end this with what we going to end with. Joe came in, so we gotta celebrate Joe. Michael Jones.
In your mind. But nigga, it's me. I'm him. I'm not them. I'm him Jones. I'm him Duncan. I will beat a nigga and stomp him in my Timberlands.